Hi friends, today I wanted to share with you another deck I got this week in the mail. I'm really on a roll this week. I've gotten about 3 or 4 tarot decks. This is the Medicine Woman Tarot deck by Carol Bridges. This is produced by US Games. However, it's been out for quite some time. The cards themselves were printed in Italy. I don't know that US Games prints their cards in Italy anymore. Where did I read that? Made in Italy. So for what it's worth, I haven't unboxed or opened the cards yet, so I don't know about the quality of the cards. Honoring Mother Earth and all living things, Medicine Woman Tarot gently guides you through the seasons with harmonious images. Find strength in this deck and let it help you find the spiritual influences needed to reach your highest visions. So here is a beautiful image. The Seeker, which in this deck substitutes for the High Priestess. Very lovely image. And on the back, I'm assuming this is probably the Wheel card. So let's open this up and get right to it. Okay, well, as you could see, it comes with a little white book, Medicine Woman Tarot. We'll look at that in a moment, but I'm assuming it's just a little white book like most other little white books. The cards themselves are a really lovely quality. They're somewhat glossy, thin, and very nice. Just wonderful quality. I love this type of cardstock. These will shuffle well. They'll fit nicely in your hand because they're not too thick. I got the whole deck here. Very nice. On the back, you can see a Native American type emblem, like a basket weave. Not reversible because it's different depending on the way the card is dealt. The Medicine Woman Tarot has a couple of introductory cards. This is a welcome, let the reading begin. And it's got the 4 seasons here with the correspondences of spring, summer, fall, and winter. And there's also an invocation card here. Great Mother, or Great Spirit, Mother Creator, bless the earth through my life, source of all nourishment. We seek to replenish your sacred world. Guide us now through these images, words, and feelings within us as we reach into the wholeness. Let all that is needed be known. So those are very nice. So I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook as we look at the major arcana. The cards 0 through 21 show the path a life follows from birth to fulfillment. Each card bears the traditional tarot title and an alternative title. The first 8 cards tell you how to manifest a thing into being. Plant the seed idea. Card 0, the seed, which would correspond to the Fool in Rider-Waite. Take stock of resources, both earthly, 1, resources, and spiritual, 2, seeker. Practice contentment by nurturing and appreciating what you have already been given. 3, bounty, or the Empress. Take command of that which needs to be changed. 4, command. Present your idea to the world. 5, peacemaker, or Hierophant. Maintain your inner-outer balance. 6, ecstasy, or the Lovers. Take note of your achievement. 7, warrior. My first impression with this deck as we're going through the major arcana is, although it's line drawings and pastel and almost sort of cartoonish by today's standards, yet I really love it because I think it has a soft quality that's very attractive. and I really enjoy these images. I'm really loving them. So as we go, card 8 through 14 bring you into a deepening inner phase of life to explore more thoroughly the subtle spiritual forces that work through you. Healing, card 8, which would correspond to strength. Inner guidance, 9, or the Hermit. Karma, which in this deck is Harvest rather than Wheel of Fortune. That's a really lovely harvest image. Very nice for fall. Balance, number 11, instead of Justice. I've got to take you in to show you that a little more closely. Isn't that lovely? Vision, instead of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man card is usually about having a perspective or vision. In the Vision Quest deck, it was called the Vision Quest, so this is sort of a similar theme. Instead of Death, we have Sunset, the end of what is no longer needed for your spiritual advancement, number 13, Sunset. And the integration of your newfound truths is number 14, Blend, or Temperance. Cards 15 through 21 raise you to a profound communication with spirit ancestors and the wisdom of ancient ways, providing you with high-level help as you more clearly see and are able to tackle problems as big as the world. As you travel the spiraling wheel, you are led through the depths of the human dilemma to the peaks of cosmic consciousness, where you become dancer on top of the world. Now you more skillfully choose your dance ground and those with whom to live passionately and fulfill your spiritually rich earthly life. Like the nervous system which receives, integrates, and transmits knowledge, the consciousness goes through these same 3 stages to accomplish major life changes. You have been programmed by DNA in every cell to spiral outward until, as your awareness increases, you are more and more able to take over the job of programming yourself. In other words, you are meant to become a goddess, a creator of your own reality. The beginning of this awareness of self-creation I call the medicine path, and you who walk on it, a medicine woman. Medicine is used in the Native American sense to mean healing. It is a force that connects that which was out of balance. I use the words medicine woman rather than medicine man because the medicine of this deck is to assist in restoring balance within society and individuals, and it is the feminine aspect which we currently need. Whether you are male or female, this deck is meant to bring the feminine healing aspect of you into realization. So here we have the Devil or Trickster, the Tower or the Pierced Shield, the Grandfathers in place of the Star, the Grandmothers in place of the Moon, Rebirth in place of the Sun, Discernment for Judgment, and Dancer for the World. Aren't these just lovely images? I'm really enjoying them. It's just a different way of looking at things. We still have the moon in this card and the star in this card, the Grandfathers. You could really go deep into this deck, thinking about the meaning that was meant to be portrayed. The images in this deck are really lovely. They're slightly different, yet hold the traditional Rider-Waite elements. Even though this card is called the Grandfathers, you can see the star is incorporated as an element there. The Grandmothers, you can see the moon, the sun, Really, really lovely. Now here we are looking at the suit of stones, which corresponds to coins or pentacles. And they're also including in the little white book other correspondences of this suit, which is north or winter and night. So I'm going to just run through these real quickly. Ace of Stones, crystallize the idea of prosperity. Two of Stones, reflect on potential use of resources. Three of Stones, gather together that which is needed. Four of Stones, establish basic self-sufficiency. I really enjoy that interpretation of the Four of Pentacles, because with Rider-Waite it's so simplistic to say that somebody is hoarding or gathering together what they need and being selfish and greedy about it. I mean, there's much more depth to the card than that. So this is really nice. Four of Stones, establish basic self-sufficiency. Five of Stones, give away the first fruits of your talents. And that's a little different. That's normally the Six of Pentacles in Rider-Waite. Six of Stones, restore balance to your accounts. Seven of Stones, reap a bountiful harvest. Eight of Stones, develop your craft by continued practice. That's pretty traditional. Nine of Stones, reinvest your energy in the future. And 10 of Stones, accept recognition. Now, while there is a notation made in the little white book that the court cards have been substituted with these four entities, Apprentice, Totem, Harvest Lodge, and Exemplar, you are out of luck if you want to know the author's interpretation of these cards, because it's not included in the little white book, not even little keywords. There's virtually nothing. So I think I'm going to have to go and buy the other guidebook. Anyway, here we have the Apprentice of Stones, which would be the Page of Pentacles. Love these images. Totem of Stones. Harvest Lodge of the Stones. And the Exemplar of Stones. Okay, we're moving on to the suit of air or swords, or in this deck it's called pipes, which makes sense if you have an elemental orientation with tarot, because air through a pipe is what creates the music. So I'm going to read the keywords from the little white book as we look at the cards. And you know, the suit of swords normally has a lot of negative type images depicted. Back in ancient times, the suit of swords was connected with the warring class, and so I'm sure there was a lot of negative imagery that was associated for that reason, but it doesn't have to be that way. So here we have Ace of Pipes, awaken to exciting possibilities. Two of Pipes, recognize the call to act. Three of Pipes, dream, envision, wander. Four of Pipes, the discipline of expressing your true nature. Five of Pipes, allure through opposition or inertia. Six of Pipes, accept and receive your blessing. How sweet that is. Seven of Pipes, overcome doubt by action of the self unbound. Eight of Pipes, develop your art from stillness. Nine of Pipes, energize your spirit, soar higher. And 10 of Pipes, return your experience to the world. Okay, I'm noticing that the little white book does have keywords for the court cards and the other suits. It's only the suit of stones that does not have the court card correspondences. For the suit of pipes, we have the Apprentice. Feel your body as a channel of power. Totem of Pipes. Free your mind to fly with the eagle. Power lodge of the pipes, or lodge, radiate energy that empowers. And the exemplar of pipes, your art inspires the future. So these are very positive oriented cards, very uplifting. They're not too sappy, they're not very Pollyanna-ish, but they are very pleasant and they would be very non-threatening in a reading. So just a thought on that point. Next we're moving to the suit of arrows, which corresponds to wands in the traditional Rider-Waite. In this deck, the suit of arrows also is listed as corresponding with south, summer, and noon, daytime, swords, and alms. Okay, so the ace of arrows is the will to do. The two of arrows, aim high above the common thought. Three of arrows, listen to your heart. Four of arrows, contemplate your blessings. Five of arrows, notice the needs of others. Very different meaning from Rider-Waite. Five of wands, which is strife or contention. Six of arrows, end struggle, seek higher mind. Seven of arrows, listen to the truths of the sages. Eight of arrows, commit to a way. Nine of arrows, overcome doubt and fear by trusting your decision. 10 of arrows, be steadfast of mind. So a lot of powerful images here. Very interesting new concepts, different ways of reading the cards or interpreting the cards. So moving on to the court cards in the suit of arrows. We have the Apprentice of Arrows, which would correspond to the Page of Wands, if you're familiar with Rider-Waite. The Totem of Arrows, which would be the Knight of Wands. Teaching Lodge of the Arrows, which would correspond to Queen of Wands. And Exemplar of the Arrows, which would correspond to King of Wands. And the meanings given in the little white book to these cards are: the Apprentice, stand by your word. The Totem, see through the cultural illusion. Teaching Lodge of the Arrows, liberate by revisioning the world. And the Exemplar of the Arrows, your stories transform the world. Now we're coming up to the final suit, the suit of bowls, which would correspond to cups or water, west, fall, sunset, devotions. And these are really pretty. These have a Hawaiian feel to these cards. Of course, Hawaiians are Native Americans also. And their islands are surrounded by water, so hey, really nice. Ace of Bowls, receive love from the giver. Two of Bowls, conceive of love with another. Three of Bowls, enlarge your circle of spiritual kin. Four of Bowls, materialize your love into form. Five of Bowls, let go of your gift of love. Six of Bowls, appreciate experiences of the past. Similar to Rider-Waite. Seven of Bowls, let the self be swept into bliss. Eight of Bowls, journey toward the divine in all. Nine of Bowls, come home to your spiritual family. 10 of Bowls, celebrate the goodness in all. And now the court cards for the suit of bowls. We have the Apprentice of Bowls. Interpretation for this card is devote yourself to joy and peace. The totem of bowls, swim in eternal light. The nurturing lodge of the bowls, nurture your spiritual family. And the exemplar of bowls, ever deepening love welcomes the living spirit to earth. I love that these are an older couple. So that wraps up my quick run through of the Medicine Woman Tarot. If you're familiar with Rider-Waite, you can easily segue to this deck. If you're new to tarot, you could work with this deck, although your interpretations would be difficult to carry over to other decks. But I do recommend this as an intermediate deck. I think the images are lovely. The concept is original. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to work with it. I hope you enjoyed this quick run through, and if I get the chance, I'm going to also order the more in-depth book online as well. So take care. Good night.